which is
Wow.
great for
Oh.
him and Summit.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
But a
Oh,
big
that's
loss
great.
for us. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a loss.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least it didn't go to Morris County anyway. So
Mhm.
that's right.
No
Well,
comment.
Jen just texted, she's rebooting her computer, so she should be on.
Okay. All right. Well, we have those technical difficulties from time to time. Anyway, we'll give her just a minute and then we'll get started. I was downtown yesterday watching the Other Fellow First group loading up turkeys. They had quite a line in front of the Summit Diner yesterday, and I don't know how many days that goes on, whether it's still going on now or just happens over the weekend. Does anybody know what their schedule is in terms of taking in turkeys?
I think it's just one day, but they raise a huge number. They give out a huge number of turkeys. It's very successful. It's been going on for what, 20 years now, Bill?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
It's really good program.
Yeah. There was quite a few people milling about yesterday. It was a relatively nice day, but quite a few people milling about. I'm not sure how many diners we have outside tonight, but it's for those members of the Polar Bear Club, I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, we have another call.
It's been very active. It's been great. And I think that at least Summit House and Barbacoa are going to try to keep the outdoor going through the end of the year. So we'll see what happens.
Quite a collection of those heaters, that's
Yeah.
at least a dozen of those things. So that's good. Yeah.
And we have another coffee shop coming in Gregory's. Gregory's is a coffee shop in New York that's very good.
Oh, is that right? Huh. Is
Yeah,
that on Summit Avenue or where's that?
Yeah, on the corner of Summit and Beechwood, that is.
yeah.
Springfield. I'm sorry.
Is it the old AT&T?
The
The old
AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
gotcha.
a great
They're not
corner.
up until about February. Yeah, it's a great spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get very caffeinated just walking around that block now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Summit's kind of
As soon as you
cool.
finish one, you can start the next.
We should have a beer trail and a coffee trail. We
Right.
should start advertising that.
Alternating in between.
Yeah, in between.
That's right. Well, look, I guess we might 7:34 now. We're a little bit late. Maybe do we have a quorum here at all, Chris, or do we need to wait for one or two more members? I think we're.
You have a quorum if you want to proceed.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate to jump.
Is Bob no longer on the board?
Bob is no longer on the board. That's correct. He has left the board. Just in my conversations with him, his business is such that he's just flying around to various parts of the country, and he just can't predict when he's going to be back in Summit. So I spoke to him not too long ago. He's a good guy. Had a lot of good comments. So we got all we could out of Bob, during the Primrose deal. So I think we got.
Is that why he quit? Is that the truth? Did he look at the Primrose?
It's either me or Primrose. I can't remember which one that drove him off the reservation. I'm not sure which one. But
Look at who's here.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
He's frozen.
Are you frozen? It is cold out. And there she goes. So, all right.
Hi.
All right, good. Okay, so
Sorry
why don't
for
we
the-
go ahead and get started? As I mentioned earlier, Jennifer, Ellen will be a little bit late tonight, but I expect she'll be joining in the next 5 minutes or so. So we'll call the meeting to order, and I'll read the adequate notice statement. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the board in preparation of the 2021 annual meeting notice, which sets forth the date, time, and place of this meeting, and by properly posting such notice and forwarding the notice to those designated newspapers and persons requesting meeting notices. Moreover, in order to comply with the national and state declarations of emergency related to the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the municipal land use law, the Open Public Meeting Act, the emergency remote meeting protocols for the local public bodies as set forth in NJAIC, this meeting is being held virtually on a web-based platform with remote public access. All right, so we'll go to our Pledge of Allegiance. Behind me, I have the little flag there so that we all have a flag to report to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And I want to introduce John Kaplan. Some of the members came on a little bit later than John is standing in tonight for Steve. We've already insulted Steve and harassed John appropriately, so he's been welcomed to the board appropriately. So welcome, John. And let's go through, do our roll call, Chris.
Sure. Chairman Anderson,
Present.
Vice Chairman Brinkerhoff,
Here.
Councilmember Little,
Here.
Ms. Paulson Alvarez,
Is it frozen?
Jen, you're on mute.
Jennifer, are you here? There she is. She's back.
I'm going to text her and ask her if she's here.
Okay.
I think she's got a little bit of lag on her camera there.
I said here,
Oh, there she is.
here,
Okay.
but maybe
that counts.
you can hear me.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, your signal must be weak, Jen.
Ms. McNeil, we're expecting, but not here yet. Mr. Delory,
Here.
Mr. Zucker,
Here.
Mr. Perrella,
Here.
Mr.
Here.
Fiore,
Here.
Mr. Formicelli.
Staying here.
Here.
I just,
Jennifer's here.
Noted for the record.
All right. Did we get to Mr. Formicelli yet?
We did get to Mr. Formicelli. Mr. Ashman is excused, and Mr. Kaplan is present, and we have a quorum. We can proceed.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Chris. Thanks very much. Well, welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This will be a relatively brief meeting tonight. And I think Chris has outdone himself with the brevity of these meeting minutes. One page, that's awesome. Anybody have any comments, questions, additions, deletions to the meeting minutes of October 25th? All right, any additions? Okay, good. Can I have, if no one has any additions, deletions, corrections, can I have a motion to approve?
So
So moved.
approved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, and Chris, do we need to do a voice vote here?
Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is a public hearing for Beechwood at Summit LLC. They have requested to be continued again to the January 24th meeting, which will be at 7:30 p.m. It will be a remote meeting, and this particular applicant will be required to renotice. And I had a little exchange, if it's okay to say this, Rich, you asked a good question, you know, how many more times can this applicant continue to extend? And I think the answer is often and well into the future, but it's really the applicant that drives the point at which they come to appear. At this point, given that it's been so many extensions, continuations, we're going to request that they renotice so that the public can be properly informed of their presentation. And Chris, I know you've been in touch with this applicant. Is there anything that you would add to that?
I believe the applicant is still wishing to pursue the application. There were some unforeseen circumstances with the applicant's camp, and there's been a lack of pursuit at this time. But the intent from the applicant is to still proceed with the application, as far as I know at this point, from their attorney, Mr. Maynor.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. All right, so as we say, continue to the January 24th meeting with notice required, renoticing it for the meeting at 7:30 p.m. And okay, our next item is Bristol Myers Squibb, the S-2 letters that's referred to on the agenda.
Bill, real quick, we just need a motion and a second to carry
Oh,
it.
sorry about that. Yeah, sure. Can we have a motion to carry this to the January 24th meeting
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Second.
And do we need a voice vote or a roll call?
We can voice vote it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And seeing none.
Thanks, Chris, for that reminder. Bristol Myers Squibb S2 letter, as you saw in your packet. This has been going on for a couple of weeks, at least maybe a month or so, with an initial application and request by Bristol Myers to demolish a building. And there was some conversation going back and forth, which I'll let John Kaplan fill us in on a little bit more with regard to what the proper procedure was relative to their site plan approval and whether it needed to, in effect, be brought to the board for a site plan effectively revision, or whether it could be handled by the building official in an administrative way. So I guess at this point, maybe John, there's Ms. Alfonso's here and Mr. Weber's here. Okay, and they're here to answer questions if we have them tonight. Thank you for joining us. And you may be familiar, Mr. Weber, with Mr. Kaplan standing in for Steve Warner tonight. Ms. Alfonso, meet John Kaplan.
Hello, Mr. Kaplan.
And we've introduced John to the board appropriately. And so the next question we would have would be really to have John Kaplan kind of walk us through the situation as we see it. It will not require a vote by the planning board tonight, but really from informational purposes. And I thought it would be important for everyone to hear this and not just have it done administratively. So Mr. Kaplan, why don't you give us a brief overview?
All right, briefly, as everybody's aware, Bristol Myers Squibb got approval for a general development plan. As they're going through certain situations, certain amendments, they're required to come to the board and advise the board and get permission to change their plan. We were approached by Bristol Myers Squibb's counsel. Our office was able to have a conversation with them. We did some research. We looked at all the facts. We came to the conclusion between our office and Bristol Myers Squibb's counsel office, Mr. Weber, Ms. Alfonso, and we agree with them. It was a joint decision that this can be handled administratively. In fact, they're well under the change in their development plan that they would require to come to the board right now. So this is really, as the chair said, this is for information. This is so the next time when Bristol Myers Squibb comes before the board's aware of what's been going on. There's no surprises. It came to the board, we did the research, we looked at it, we came to the legal conclusion that this can be done administratively. They tear down the building they're looking to tear down. And as the chair said, Ms. Alfonso, Mr. Weber's here to answer any questions the board may have, is to make the board comfortable that we're proceeding as we're supposed to proceed.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Kaplan. One of the things we, in the conversations and emails that went back and forth, Gary Lewis was involved, our building official, and he's certainly aware of the situation and really encouraged me and others to be sure that the board understood what was going on here and that we didn't really need a revision to the general development plan, but something that could be handled administratively. So he has been involved, he understands it, and he'll be pleased, assuming everything goes well, he'll be pleased to know that he can proceed from there. Mr. Weber, Ms. Alfonso, is anything you'd want to add prior to opening up to questions from the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. James Weber of Dempsey and Sheehan on behalf of Bristol Myers Squibb. I'm glad that this is a Zoom meeting because if it had been in person, I'm a little under the weather, so that Samantha Alfonso has prepared any presentation and any responses that the board may require of this application. I also would indicate that Mr. Richard Maurer is the Director of Global Capital Projects Engineering for Bristol Myers Squibb, and he has also attended this by Zoom and is available should the board have any questions with regard to particulars of the campus. With that much being said, unless the board has any questions of me, I would then turn this over to Ms. Alfonso, who has prepared to respond to any questions that the board may have.
Okay. You have a statement, Ms. Alfonso? Are we ready to field any questions from the board?
I would field any questions the board may have.
Right. One thing I'd like to say just before questions is that as you've read the letter that came from Dempsey and Sheehan, Mr. Weber, that, it's 2.8%, 15% is sort of the key in terms of the amount that would need to be, amount of FAR disturbed or removed or changed that would require a change of the development plan. We will ask the building official to track this, in his files. And Chris, you can elaborate on that a little bit if you'd like, but will be tracked in terms of the FAR that exists there. So we will know that there's 21,000 square feet less FAR than currently shown in the development plan. So it will be duly noted in the files of the city so that we keep track of it and are aware of the actual FAR that's on the site. So if any members of the board have any questions, Ms. Alfonso is ready.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Sure.
I'm just curious, the last time we got together and we were told that we were going to receive a copy of the updated December, or have the December noise study be updated. And I'm just wondering where that is, and if it has not, or if it has been received by the city, forgive me because I'm not aware of it, but if it's not, when will we be getting that?
Good question.
December report was in fact filed a few months ago. I could get the date for you if you'd like. There is an upcoming sound study as well with regard to the S16 building post-construction as well.
Okay, and the December one, if I remember, was the entire campus?
Yes.
Okay. And so the S16 was the one about the particular building. Okay. So was there any, obviously having not seen it, was the campus in compliance with the noise code?
Yes, it was.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Andy, great question. I appreciate you following up on that. That was a good
Thank
question.
you.
Yep. Anyone else have any questions for Ms. Alfonso?
And just out of curiosity, more than anything else, are there plans for new improvements on this site, or will this remain an open site for the foreseeable future?
So Mr. Maurer is here, but if I may, I understand that BMS is looking to come to the board with a new GDP, likely in the next year, perhaps a little bit longer. They do want to take the time to consider what would best fit in that space and the rest of the campus, and what types of improvements they want to do to the campus in the future.
Thank you, Samantha.
Of course.
Mr. Merrill, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for attending tonight. I don't know if we have any questions for you, but thanks. Is there anything you'd like to say with regard to the application at all, or the information we're being presented?
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for entertaining this discussion. I appreciate us allowing us to have an audience for this discussion. We really think that the demolition of S2 is a pretty simple activity we're asking for, and we're going to come back to you in good faith with whatever we plan to do in that space, if anything. We've talked about it internally and said that we're investing over $100 million between S3 and S4. Wow. And believe that the board has approved, and that we believe that S2 has little value, as Mr. Weber's letter presented to us architecturally. And we want to remove that from an image perspective, not just for our own employees, but for the city as well, for the view shed.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay. I'm not sure how much debate we would have with regard to the architectural quality of that building. So I think it won't be missed. Anyone else have questions for Ms. Alfonso? Okay. All right. I think that in terms of that wraps it up. I think we'll make sure, Chris, that you'll communicate with our building official. Let him know that we've had this aired out tonight, and just give him an idea of the questions that were asked, and I know he'll keep track of it from here.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Have a great evening.
Yep, you too.
Thanks, Samantha.
Well, our good last item on the agenda officially here is our 2022 calendar. it had a couple of revisions, and Chris, maybe you might just go through a couple of the revisions, because a couple of the dates are a little bit out of the ordinary. Maybe you could just give us an idea how you arrived at a couple of those.
Yeah, so the September date was moved to the 27th because 2, 3. Sorry, I'm in the wrong year. Bear with me here. To the 27th, the Tuesday, because Rosh Hashanah was on the 26th. And then the other date that we revised was December. I suspect everybody will want to meet on the front end of Christmas rather than on the 28th or 27th. So we made that the 21st due to the council meeting, which will be on the 20th, to try not to conflict with that. But other than that, the other dates would remain as is.
Okay, and then our August date is, often we try to hold that as a possible non-meeting. Over the years, we haven't been all that successful, but sometimes we do not have an August meeting. Any one of the members of the board, this is not something we vote on tonight, right, Chris? We do that next month, I guess. Is that right? Or can we vote on this?
We could take formal action if the board's comfortable. If not, if everybody wants to kind of let it marinate for a month, we could do that too.
Yep. Does anyone have any initial reactions to any of these dates for one reason or another?
Just had a question on July publishing date. Is it the 15th or the 14th?
Oh, yeah, that's right. 154. Okay. Yeah, just a typo there.
Oh, yeah, I'll correct. Thank you.
What was the date?
They have to publish 10 days prior.
Oh, okay.
And they publish on the Thursday. So
Got it. Okay.
Okay, good eyes. Thank you. All right. It's the board's pleasure to sleep on this for a month. Or are we comfortable with it as it is and can set it in stone? Any thoughts? All right. Hearing none, how do we think, what about going ahead and approving this as is? I think just to move it off the calendar. And Chris, do we need a voice vote or a roll call, or how would you?
I guess we should roll call this one, I would say, just to be safe. I think that's what Steve would want.
Sure.
Other than that, it's just a motion to approve as amended and a second.
All right.
So moved.
And a second. All right. I think we had Jay and John there, and maybe Andy. Okay.
All right. So for the roll call, Chairman Henderson,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Brinkerhoff,
Yes.
Councilmember Little,
Yes.
Ms. Paulson Alvarez,
Yes.
Neal,
Yes.
Mr. Delory,
Yes.
Mr. Zucker,
Yes.
Mr. Perrella,
Yes.
Mr. Fiore,
Yes.
and Mr. Formicelli.
Yes.
Okay, great. I just have one last question. Since we're all here tonight, with regard to our historic preservation subcommittee, does anyone have an idea when we might see the proposal presented by Barton Ross and Partners, when that may get approved, so that we could begin to line him up for presenting to the board and reviewing the work that the subcommittee has done to this point?
I can probably update on that. Aaron is working on pulling some money from the budget to do that. And we were supposed to meet this morning, but people are traveling. So I think we're meeting on Monday. So maybe I'll have an answer for you on this coming Monday after Thanksgiving.
So you think maybe we're a December meeting or perhaps January meeting?
I hope it would be the December meeting because I will be coming off the planning board and I would like to be here, but we'll just have to see what the timing will be. Council member O'Sullivan is going to be the new liaison to the planning board. I will be coming off after my 2 years, and Councilmember O'Sullivan will do a great job, I'm sure.
Thanks for abandoning us, Beth.
Yeah.
I mean, you told us you were not going to leave and you were going to be like the mother figure. And now you're just springing on us right before Thanksgiving that you're just dumping us like,
no,
wow.
We get new council appointments. I've been on for 2 years. Danny's going to be taking over as the chair of the CAP committee. So he's appropriately going to sit on this committee as well. So
On my first vote, I might say it's what Beth would have wanted.
Well, Beth, thank
I
you
would
for,
certainly appreciate that, Matt.
yeah, thank you for the guidance that you've given us, over the time you've been on the board. It's been really helpful. So we greatly appreciate it. And we're going to miss you. But I can say this, we'll have somebody to look up to.
Certainly has-
Oh.
In case she didn't miss that, he's very tall. Okay. And here's Ellen. Hi,
Color
Ellen.
make-
How are you? Ellen looks like she's mobile there.
You're on mute, Ellen.
We can't hear you, Ellen. We can't hear you.
Yes, I'm in my car. Sorry.
All right. Well, we've muddled through and we're just about wrapped up. So hopefully we haven't erred and we haven't made any mistakes in your absence there. So
I doubt it.
So I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I know we're going to have a motion to adjourn here, but before that, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks everyone for all their time, this year. And I hope everybody enjoys their time with friends and family and has a safe holiday.
Thank you.
You too, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Happy
Have a great
holidays.
holiday,
Thanksgiving.
everyone.
Bill.
Happy holidays, to everybody.
I need a motion to adjourn. If someone would be so kind in a second.
So moved.
All right, we got a motion to adjourn in a second there, Chris.
Second.
All right, everybody. in
Yeah,
favor?
Beth is leaving us. Who's that? Who's second that?
I
It might
gave
have
it
been
to you,
Mr.
Andy.
Mr.
I'll
Kaplan.
I'll be here next month. I'll be here next month. I might say goodbye.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think Mr. Kaplan seconded that. He was.
No, good.
Anyway, John, thank you for being here tonight. And we appreciate your help and going through this and appreciate the time you spent with us earlier today as well.
Problem. Thank you.
All right. Well, so long, everyone. Thank you again
Bye.
and good holiday.
Take care. Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.